Welcome to this video. In this problem, we're focusing on the different types of slopes that a line can have, and we're wanting to match each of these types of a slope with one of the pictures that are given. So first, let's begin by thinking a bit about what we expect a line with each of these types of slope to look like. A positive slope means the line is increasing as it goes from left to right. Another way of thinking about this is to say the line goes uphill. Think about it as going uphill as we move from left to right. So if you wanted to draw a line with a positive slope, you could picture a little person standing somewhere, and then we say they're going to walk from left to right, and they have to go uphill. So we can look at our pictures here and see which of these lines seems to give an uphill slope. We see that happening right there. So we know this picture, this line has a positive slope. All right, let's see our next option, a negative slope. It's a similar idea to positive. A line with a negative slope is going to be a downhill line. And it's always important as we think about up versus down, we're thinking about when we go from left to right. So if we draw our same little person standing at the base, now they're going to be walking from left to right, going downhill. They move from left to right, they need to go downhill. So looking at our pictures here, we can see there's one line with a downhill slope right here. So this line has a negative slope. Okay, so now let's move on to the idea of a zero slope line. A line with a zero slope means that as we move from left to right, we're not going up or down. We're staying flat. So a line with a zero slope is a flat horizontal line. So there's our person, and they're not going up or down, they're just staying flat. As we look, here's our zero line. A line with zero slope is a horizontal line. And now for perhaps our most interesting one, the idea of an undefined slope. When we think about how we calculate slope, an undefined slope is going to be a slope that has 0 in the denominator. So it could have anything it wants up here, but a 0 denominator, meaning if we think about rise over run, it has a run of 0. So when you stand on this line, you cannot go forward. You could only go essentially up or down. You can't go forward. So what this is basically a cliff. You can't go forward if you're standing on a cliff. So this is what we consider a vertical line. A line that goes straight up and down has undefined slope. So if we picture our little person trying to walk on this line, they just can't go forward. They're standing next to a cliff. There's nowhere for them to move left or right. So as we look around, we see here is our vertical line. This line has the slope we would consider undefined. It's useful to contrast this oftentimes in our calculation. An undefined slope was one that had 0 in a denominator, whereas a horizontal line is one that had 0 in the numerator as we calculate it. So it could have 0 in the numerator, and anything down here gives me that 0 slope, whereas for the vertical line, it doesn't matter what we have on top. If there's a 0 in the denominator, the numerical value is undefined. We're looking at a vertical line.